Hey awesome little friends! I'm Milka. Are you super duper ready for some amazing adventures and cool stories? If you want to be part of our adventure squad, make sure to hit that magical subscribe button down below. Let's go exploring together. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled at the edge of a mystical forest, there lived a sweet little girl named Milka. She had rosy cheeks, bright eyes, and a heart full of curiosity. Milka's days were filled with laughter and play with her friends in the village, but she always felt a deep connection with nature and the creatures that inhabited the forest. One sunny morning, as the village was abuzz with excitement over a colorful festival, Milka's adventurous spirit got the better of her. Unable to resist the allure of the mysterious forest, she decided to venture inside to explore its wonders. With a basket of berries and her favorite teddy bear in tow, she bid her parents farewell, promising to return before sundown. As Milka wandered deeper into the forest, the trees grew taller and the sunlight faded. Suddenly, she realized that she had lost her way. Panic started to creep into her heart as she realized she was alone, surrounded by unfamiliar trees and eerie sounds. She clutched her teddy bear tightly for comfort and tried to retrace her steps, but it was no use. The forest seemed to have a mind of its own. Just as despair began to take hold of Milka, she heard a soft rustling behind her. Turning around, she was met with a pair of bright, curious eyes. It was a gentle deer, who seemed to sense her distress. The deer nudged Milka gently with its nose, as if reassuring her that everything would be all right. Grateful for the animal's presence, Milka followed the deer as it led her deeper into the forest. As they journeyed together, Milka encountered more animals, a playful squirrel, a wise owl, and a mischievous fox. To her amazement, they all welcomed her with open arms and befriended her. Each animal had a unique personality, and Milka quickly learned to communicate with them through gestures, expressions, and sounds. Over time, Milka's bond with the forest animals grew stronger. She became an integral part of their community, and they looked out for her just as she cared for them. The animals taught her about their ways, the secrets of the forest, and the importance of harmony between all living creatures. As seasons passed, Milka blossomed into a kind-hearted and compassionate young girl. She helped the animals in times of need, and they, in turn, protected and guided her through the forest. With her newfound friends, she discovered hidden glades, sparkling streams, and enchanting meadows. One day, as she was exploring a secluded part of the forest, she stumbled upon a wounded baby bird. Without hesitation, she tended to its injuries and nursed it back to health. Grateful for her care, the bird's parents invited her to their treetop nest, and from that day on, she had an entire bird family to call her own. As Milka grew older, she became a bridge between the forest and her village. She shared the wisdom she gained from her animal friends with her fellow villagers, encouraging them to live in harmony with nature and cherish the creatures that coexisted with them. As the years passed, the villagers learned to respect and protect the forest, making sure it thrived for generations to come. Milka's gentle and caring nature inspired everyone around her to appreciate the beauty of the natural world. In time, the little girl who had once been lost in the forest became a guiding light for her entire community. Her name was known far and wide, not only for her kind heart but also for her extraordinary friendship with the animals of the forest. And so, the legend of Milka, the girl who got lost in the forest and found her true home among the animals, was passed down from one generation to another. Her story served as a reminder of the power of friendship, the beauty of nature, and the importance of living in harmony with all living beings. And in the heart of the mystical forest, the spirit of Milka lived on, forever connecting the villagers and the animals, weaving a tapestry of love, compassion, and unity. As Milka continued to grow, her bond with the animals and the forest deepened further. She had a gift for healing, and whenever an animal fell ill or got injured, they would seek her out for her tender care. The animals trusted her implicitly, and she would spend hours sitting beside them, soothing their pain with her gentle touch and kind words. As she reached her teenage years, the village recognized the incredible connection Milka had with the forest and its inhabitants. They appointed her as the guardian of the forest, a role that had been passed down through generations. With this responsibility, Milka took it upon herself to protect the forest from any harm, be it from poachers or those who sought to exploit its resources. She became a voice for the voiceless creatures, advocating for their rights and preserving their habitat. Under Milka's guardianship, the forest flourished like never before. Animals from all corners of the woodland would come to seek her counsel and wisdom, and she would listen attentively to their concerns, mediating conflicts and nurturing peaceful coexistence. One day, a great challenge arose in the forest. A powerful storm wreaked havoc, toppling ancient trees and flooding the animals' homes. The animals were devastated, and they turned to Milka for help. With unwavering determination, she rallied the villagers and the forest animals alike. Together, they worked tirelessly to repair the damage and provide shelter and food for the displaced creatures. In the aftermath of the storm, a special bond was forged between the villagers and the forest animals. They realized that they were not separate entities but an interconnected web of life, and they vowed to protect each other as one harmonious community. As the years passed, news of Milka's incredible connection with the forest spread beyond her village. People from far-off lands traveled to meet her, hoping to learn from her wisdom and experience the magic of the enchanted forest. Milka humbly shared her knowledge with all who came, knowing that the more people understood the delicate balance of nature, the better chance they had at preserving it for generations to come. But even as Milka shared her wisdom with the world, she never forgot her roots. She always returned to her beloved village and her forest home, where she felt the most alive and at peace. The animals, too, eagerly awaited her return, for they had grown to rely on her presence and guidance. As the village and the forest flourished under Milka's care, her story became the stuff of legend. Songs were sung, and tales were woven about the girl who was lost in the forest but found herself among its creatures. Her name was celebrated as a symbol of love, harmony, and the magical connection that could exist between humans and the natural world. As time marched on, Milka's hair turned silver, and her youthful exuberance gave way to a serene grace. Yet, her spirit remained as vibrant as ever. She continued to be the guardian of the forest, passing her knowledge and legacy to a new generation of kindred spirits who shared her love for nature and its inhabitants. And And so, the little girl named Milka, who had once been lost in the forest, lived a life of purpose and fulfillment. She became a beacon of hope, teaching the world that the path to true happiness lay not in conquering nature but in embracing it and becoming one with its beauty. To this day, if you venture deep into the heart of the mystical forest, you might catch a glimpse of a silver-haired woman walking alongside deer, squirrels, and birds. Her laughter blending with their joyful chirps and rustling leaves. For Milka had found her home not just in the forest but in the hearts of all who cherished the magic of nature and the profound friendship that can exist between a little girl and the creatures of the wild. And her story lives on, forever inspiring new generations to protect and cherish the wonders of the natural world. As the years passed, Milka's legend grew, and her story became a source of inspiration for people all around the world. Her journey of friendship with the animals and her unwavering dedication to preserving the forest became a symbol of the profound connection that humans could have with nature. People who heard her story would be filled with awe and wonder, and many would embark on their own quests to connect with the natural world around them. Milka's message of love, compassion, and environmental stewardship spread far and wide, influencing countless lives and igniting a global movement to protect and conserve the Earth's precious ecosystems. The village that Milka called home prospered under her watchful eye. The villagers came to understand that their well-being was intricately linked to the health of the forest, and they embraced sustainable practices that ensured the long-term harmony of their community with nature. The once remote and mystical forest had transformed into a sanctuary of biodiversity, drawing nature enthusiasts and researchers alike to study its wonders. As the world changed around her, Milka remained steadfast in her love for the forest and its inhabitants. She had formed bonds not only with the animals but also with the generations of villagers who held her dear in their hearts. Her home had grown into a tight-knit community that cherished the values she had instilled in them. Though she had spent much of her life in the forest, Milka also recognized the importance of connecting with people beyond the woods. She became an ambassador for environmental conservation, traveling to different regions to speak at conferences and gatherings, urging people to protect the natural world and the creatures that called it home. Through her teachings and example, Milka touched countless lives, encouraging people to be mindful of their actions and their impact on the planet. She believed that each individual had the power to make a difference, and she inspired others to take small steps towards a more sustainable and compassionate lifestyle. As the years passed, Milka's age caught up with her, but her spirit remained as vibrant as ever. The animals that had been her friends and companions all her life continued to surround her with love and care. They would sit beside her, listening attentively as she shared stories of her adventures and the lessons she had learned from the forest. One tranquil evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow upon the trees, Milka peacefully closed her eyes and passed away. The news of her passing spread quickly, and people from all walks of life came to pay their respects to the woman who had touched their hearts and inspired them to protect nature. A grand ceremony was held in the heart of the forest, attended by villagers, animals, and visitors from near and far. The trees stood tall as witnesses, and the wind carried her spirit through the leaves. As the sun set, the animals that Milka had befriended over the years gathered to bid her farewell. their presence a testament to the bond they had shared with the remarkable girl who became their friend. In her memory, the villagers established the Milka Foundation, dedicated to preserving the forest and continuing her mission of environmental stewardship. The foundation provided resources and support to various conservation projects around the world, spreading the message of unity and compassion for all living beings. And so, the little girl named Milka, who had once been lost in the forest, left a legacy that transcended time. Her story was etched in the hearts of those who heard it, a reminder of the power of love, friendship, and the profound connection that could exist between humans and nature. As people visited the forest, they could almost feel Milka's presence, her spirit forever intertwined with the trees, the animals, and the very essence of the woodland she had called home. And as the seasons changed, the forest continued to thrive, a testament to the enduring impact of the little girl who had grown up among its creatures and become their friend for all time. In the wake of Milka's passing, the forest felt a profound sense of loss, but her teachings and her spirit lived on in the hearts of all who knew her. The villagers, animals, and visitors from far and wide continued to come together, united by the love and compassion Milka had shared with them. The Milka Foundation thrived, and its efforts spread far beyond the village and the mystical forest. Environmental conservation became a global movement, with people from every corner of the world joining hands to protect and preserve nature. Milka's story served as a beacon of hope, inspiring countless individuals to take action and make positive changes in their own lives and communities. As the years passed, the forest flourished, and its beauty became even more enchanting. With the villagers' commitment to sustainable practices and the protection of wildlife, the forest became a model of harmony between humans and nature. One warm summer day, a group of children from the village set out on an adventure into the mystical forest. They had heard the stories of Milka and her incredible connection with the animals, and they were eager to explore the wonders she had cherished throughout her life. As the children wandered deeper into the woods, they discovered a hidden glade filled with vibrant wildflowers and a gentle stream running through it. Suddenly, they heard soft rustling behind a bush. Curious, they approached, and to their delight, they found a playful fox cub, its eyes twinkling mischievously. The fox cub seemed unafraid of the children's presence and even nudged one of them playfully. As the children laughed and played with the fox, more animals began to appear. Deer, rabbits, squirrels, and even birds joined in the joyous gathering. Unbeknownst to the children, the forest animals had always kept a watchful eye on the village, and they had sensed the pure-heartedness of the children, just as they had sensed it in Milka all those years ago. The animals had come to welcome the new generation of friends, just as they had welcomed Milka. In the midst of the laughter and delight, a soft voice floated through the air, singing a lullaby that seemed to carry the wisdom of the ages. The children turned to see an ethereal figure standing at the edge of the glade, surrounded by a gentle aura of light. It was a shimmering spirit, the essence of Milka herself, watching over the forest and its creatures with a smile. Though they could not see her face, the children felt her warmth and knew that they were in the presence of someone special. The spirit of Milka blessed the children, the animals, and the forest, showering them with love and protection. From that day onward, the children visited the mystical forest regularly, forming deep friendships with the animals, just as Milka had done so many years ago. They learned the secrets of the woodland, shared their dreams and fears, and became stewards of nature in their own right. And so, the legacy of Milka lived on, not just in the village or the mystical forest, but in the hearts of the children and all those who followed in her footsteps. The forest continued to be a place of wonder, where the bond between humans and animals was a cherished treasure. And as the years passed, the village and the mystical forest thrived, knowing that the spirit of Milka would forever watch over them, guiding them towards a future where humans and nature lived in harmony, hand in paw, as friends forevermore. Yeah, my little adventurers, it's almost the end of this incredible journey. But don't be sad because new thrilling stories await us just around the corner. See you soon for an even more beautiful story. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more exciting adventures.